Stop making these foam rolling mistakes. You are doing yourself a disservice and possibly harming yourself. Hi guys, I am Jade Rainbow, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and I'm going over 4 very common mistakes when it comes to foam rolling, how to easily avoid them, and at the end stay tuned because I'm going to be going over my honest opinion of if I like foam rolling or if I think it's a waste of time. Foam rolling has been and still is a trending thing to incorporate into an exercise routine, whether it's for recovery, for stretching something out, for rolling out a tight muscle. You see it all the time, but there are some vital things with foam rolling that you should not be doing. The foam roller is a staple piece of exercise equipment that is found in most modern gym environments. While traditionally they were made from foam, nowadays they are made of a variety of materials and come in different sizes, textures, densities. Some are soft and smooth, some are hard and dimpled, some are short, some are long. Using a rolling action, the foam roller applies a massage-like effect to the soft tissue area, thought to create a releasing mechanism, helping the muscle relax, reduce adhesions, and promote blood flow. There was a study by Wiebelhove et al. 2019 that found that pre-rolling can be an effective strategy with short-term improvements in flexibility without decreasing muscle performance. They also found that the recovery rate improved with post-rolling. So what the heck am I doing wrong? Let's get into it. Rule number 1, never roll over bony prominences. They will be painful to roll over, so they can easily be mistaken for a trigger point. Hence why it's so important to be aware of them. For example, when people roll out their thoracic spine, they often roll right over their shoulder blades, which can be very painful and not helpful. The muscles and tissue you are actually wanting to get to are beneath. So instead, cross your arms in front of your chest, move your shoulder blades forward to get them out of the way, so you can get to the muscles in thoracic spine. Another area commonly inflicted is the bone on the side of your hip. This is called our greater trochanter. Instead, roll the muscles surrounding this bony landmark, like your quads, glutes, and hamstrings. Foam rollers are meant to relieve tension in these soft muscle tissues, so rolling over a bone is just going to be painful. And in relation to rolling out your hip and leg, you do not want to roll out your IT band. Your IT band is a large tendon. Tendons do not stretch. Muscles stretch, tendons do not stretch. So by foam rolling over your IT band, you're just jamming it with the foam roller and it hurts. By rolling over your IT band, you're literally just causing yourself pain. It takes the force of an elephant to make an impact on stretching your IT band. So basically it's not possible. Instead, roll out your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, your TFL. The fibers of these muscles run with the IT band, so by rolling out those muscles, it will indirectly give you the feeling that your IT band has lengthened, giving you some relief. Number 2, you are spending too much time on trigger points. You are doing yourself a disservice if you are spending way too much time solely on those trigger points. A trigger point being a localized tender spot in muscle. So say you press on something or roll on something and it's like, ah, that hurts so bad. That's a trigger point. The pain may be localized or it can even spread to a distal spot. Oftentimes, people spend way too much time on this trigger point area and they end up being in more pain. The point is to relax the muscle. So instead, spend a minute or two rolling out the entire length of the muscle and then spend some time on the trigger point. When you loosen up the areas surrounding the trigger point, you'll likely indirectly reduce some tension on that trigger point to make it more comfortable when you do go release it. Big no-no number 3, do not roll out your low back, your lumbar spine. Our spine is comprised of our cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine. It is okay to foam roll your thoracic spine and around your shoulder blades, although when the foam roller is placed on the low back, the lumbar spine, it's easy for the spine to go into excessive lordosis or arching. This can cause discomfort and strain in your low back. This can be especially painful if you already have arching in your low back at rest. Instead, if you have tension in your low back, go and grab a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Lean up against a wall and find the trigger areas that way. Again, staying away from the bony spine, aiming for just the side of the spine to hit the soft muscle tissue. Last but not least, rule number 4, applying the wrong amount of pressure. If you're using too little of pressure, you're likely not making an effect and you're wasting your time. But if you're using too much pressure, you may be inflicting pain and causing the muscle to tense up, which is the exact opposite of your intention. Ultimately, you have control over how much force you put through the foam roller. You can lay all of your weight into it, or you can unload it by using an arm and a leg. This is also where different foam rollers come in handy. Full foam rollers tend to be a bit softer, and hollowed out foam rollers tend to have a harder inner core lining, increasing the amount of pressure. If you're targeting a smaller muscle, such as the hip or upper back, grab a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball instead, the lacrosse ball being harder than a tennis ball. So now, the big question is, do I believe in foam rollers? or do I think they're a waste of time? So I am personally a fan of foam rollers. Although it is limited, there is research backing the benefits of foam rolling. I myself use a foam roller frequently to help with reducing tension and relieving some trigger points. And I also advise my patients in the clinic to use them as well, so they are more independent on their own with releasing tension, improving their flexibility and recovery. But if you decide to foam roller, make sure to use these tips to avoid further pain or potentially risky moves. Maximize your benefits of foam rolling by being aware of where you're foam rolling, the pressure that you're using, avoiding your low back and bony landmarks, and not spending too much time on painful spots. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.